Thank you for listening to Depictions Media Radio. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here today with Helena Smolock, and she is the founder of Velocity Athletic Training. She has over 35 years in the fitness industry. She herself, as a high school student, was a athlete. She ran track. I believe her race was the 100-meter dash. And she did try her hand out at criminal law, and she found herself in a courthouse in Ottawa and figured that, nope, this isn't going to do it. And she had the mindset to quickly shift gears and go back to what was a right fit for her. And she is a fitness professional and a master athlete, and she helps clients with a multitude of different disabilities also when we consider cancer and heart disease, and she also helps people with post-rehab due to injuries to just be healthier and live a more energetic life. So welcome to the show, Helena, and thank you for all the things you do for our wonderful world.
Oh, thank you for the invitation, Michael. I'm truly honored to be on the show. And yes, the world needs trainers.
we need trainers for a lot of different reasons.
Exactly. Yes, our role varies in many different ways, and but the ultimate goal is to better the planet.
Yeah.
And what a lovely journey.
Yeah. So, what is some of the? Okay, there is something here that because I only read a short snippet of bios that people send me, enough to get me through like 30 seconds. There is something and I'm going to immediately say that I am ignorant about. I don't know what this is. What is a spin class?
A spin class?
Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of deceiving, right? I can only imagine what you're thinking. Spin. Okay, what are they doing? Spinning around?
There was one thought, and the other thought was maybe some kind of bicycle thing, maybe.
Yes. So it is a stationary bike. The workout is done on that, and it's a wonderful workout. We do various movements during our training certification. We learn how to initiate those movements on the bike. So it's a wonderful workout. It's not weight-bearing, so anybody that's not able to do like a high-impact class, which is not really, I haven't done high-impact in so long, but is overweight, they can actually get a good workout on the bike.
Wow.
It's a great sweat. You can get your heart rate up, and it's truly enjoyable.
Okay, so it doesn't involve anything that, like, I had a pretty nasty accident one time where I went over the side of a cliff while mountain biking. So no. This
is actually in a gym. There are spin studios, where there's just bikes.
Mm-hmm.
There could be up to, I've taught. Well, with the Bank of Canada, I taught, there was about, I'd say, 20 bikes.
Oh.
So yeah, you can have up to 20 people in a classroom, and everyone's on the bike. And there's so many variables to what you can add to a spin class. You can do segments of, say, 20 minutes of cardio, 25 minutes of cardio, and then get off the bike and incorporate, some weight training. I love doing the combo of both because it's highly effective. You can do add in abdominal work, stretches. It's amazing what you can do on that bike.
Wow.
And the thing is, if you're a seasoned instructor, there's so many ways of stretching on that bike.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty interesting. What other fitness modes are you certified to teach and certified to train people in?
Personal training, which is obviously one-to-one training. Mm-hmm. Group instruction, aerobics, high impact, low impact. I also am certified to teach STEP, which is a system where it was developed by actually someone who did injure her knee, and it was a very serious injury, and she was trying to go, she went through rehab and all that. But one of the things that she found very effective was going up and down the stairs. Mm-hmm. And from that, the STEP was developed. And that was a huge craze in the 90s. So I went ahead and got certified to teach that. And this little platform, which was developed by Reebok, you can do an amazing amount of moves, plyometric, high-impact, low-impact movements on this small platform. And that was another craze that swept across the industry.
Yeah.
It's amazing how these crazes come and then they sort of go, but they're still there in some respect,
I think I actually had one of those little platforms at one time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was actually trying to rehabilitate myself after one of my numerous injuries with extreme sports. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, the body goes through wear and tear, of course. In my way of thinking, if you think of sitting at your desk all day and all you're doing is typing, mm-hmm. right? Or going to work, like say you're a cashier, you're always doing the same movement. Your fingers are doing the same movement, so you develop carpal tunnel syndrome. Well, it's the same thing with your overall body, right? If I'm going to continue to when I go to practice, and all I'm doing is that 100-meter dash, I keep practicing that, but I'm not moving my body in other planes like the frontal, lateral, posterior, then I will use my quadriceps, my hamstrings, my glute, because all I'm doing is my lower back. I need to focus on working the body in multi-directions, working my muscles, my lateral heads, my medial heads in different planes, so that I'm ensuring my joints remain strong.
Right.
Now, it's not just that one factor. There's also nutrition, right? I got to feed those muscles. I got to ensure that I remain strong. It's a lifestyle, really.
Right.
Yeah.
You're also certified as a nutritionist, right?
Yes. I took 3 years of kinesiology at, back then it was through Thomas River University, who sort of subcontracted through Simon Fraser. So it was online learning. So I took 3 years of that, and I realized, a lot of it is as well, nutrition. So I went through a Live Academy from that because I believe that our nutrition should be as holistic as possible, less, genetically modified, less processing. If I can have a garden, I would have a garden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my mom had a garden. We all, my lineage had a garden. My grandparents, they all had gardens. So if you wanted a tomato, just go to the garden and pick it off out of the garden. So I believe that nutrition should be that way. Unfortunately, because we're pacing up our lifestyle, fast food has come in and sort of has changed, how our body metabolizes fats, and it's a precursor to disease. That's how I feel about it. So when I took the Alive Academy diploma program, it was an eye-opener, and I realized how proactive we must be or become in ensuring that we eat wholesome food, nutrient-dense food. Yeah.
Well, you're before we get to your 5 tips, I'm going to ask you about your opinion on genetically modified foods and also soil depletion.
Well, I believe that, and this is something I learned in my courses, is that when we spray, let's go back. Let's back up. Okay, let's look at the rainforest. The natives in the rainforest. I like to look at them because they respect, actually, the earth. Right?
Right.
They respect that the plants are life. They're our life force. The animal kingdom is our life force. So once we start as a society taking some poison, pesticide, and start spraying the plants with this poison, it gets absorbed into the soil, and then we have a toxicity in the soil. And that tapers into the plant, and that goes into our system as well. It's a domino effect, and I believe we did speak about domino effects, right? So, you sit with the First Nations, and they are like a book. And I have done that. I have done healing circles with First Nations. And they talk about Mother Earth. They talk about how important it is for us to respect the earth, the soil, the plants that feed us. It feeds us, right? And in all reality, optimal nutrition begins. Can you guess where it begins? Where does it start? Where do we get the best nutrition? Where does it begin?
That's a really good question, and I'm going to actually take a stab at it, and I would say it's going to come from our vegetables and maybe from the leafy vegetables.
Okay, you're right. But it actually begins when we're in our mother's womb.
Okay.
Right? I mean, the mother, I know because I'm a mom. Go to the doctor, make sure you're eating well, and make sure, we're being told, okay, make sure you eat healthy because you have another human being inside of you. right? And that human being inside of you, their cells are growing and replicating and forming. So it is my responsibility as mother to ensure that I am eating healthy and well and enough to feed the other human within me.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what changes is we have our children, and trust me, I taught both my kids to read labels at very young ages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they always would run to the candy section. Oh, I want this. Okay, well, you read the label and you tell me if there's something you don't understand, then you put it back on the shelf. Right? 90% of the time, the first ingredient is sugar. What's damaging to the body is sugar, depending on its process, right?
Mm-hmm.
As well, my kids never had cow's milk. They had their first, the breast milk, and then they had goat milk. Why? Because goat milk is easier to break down in the system. It's non-allergenic, and it's not... And when I lived on Gabriel Island, I actually bought it fresh from a lady who had a whole bunch of goats. I tell you, I loved it. I would go over to her house, and all these goats would come running up to us.
Yeah.
And my son would be petting them, you know, and I thought, this is wonderful. He's getting the best possible nutrition. I mean, the only thing that it lacks is zinc, so I would add zinc to the bottle, and he would have that raw. And he's a, you know, strong, healthy young man. So if every parent took those types of steps to ensure that their children are eating optimally, guess what that does for a child? Better learning, and especially for us, ourselves too, because, you know, we want to eat healthy to remain strong and have energy. But we need to take that proactive role to respect our base, and that is the earth.
Right. That makes perfect sense too, right? So, hey, before we get too much further, you brought along with you 5 tips to help us live healthier. So why don't we dive into those?
Absolutely.
I'm sure we've already probably touched on some of that already, but
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm going to speak from the angle right now with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, and I think I've explained this to you, when a client comes to me for personal training, there's a number of things I have to look at as a trainer. I go a step beyond of what I don't think a lot of trainers do, but I go into the mind, emotional connection, as well as the you know, what's going on in the soul connection.
Great.
One thing I learned as an athlete back in high school, and I was very grateful to have a coach that looked beyond just, you know, the physiology, but he also looked into, okay, what's happening at the soul level, because really a lot of power comes from there. But in my respect here as a trainer, number one thing is what's going on mentally. So number one, especially with today, especially with what's going on, people are mentally tired. There's a fear.
Mm-hmm.
the fear element, the fear factor. What's going on? If I step outside, if I go to the gym, am I going to get sick? I got to maintain my, 6 feet apart, 17 feet apart here in the gyms in Washington State. It happened the other day. Sorry, not the other day, last week. Someone came back into the gym. She was anxious to start up, but she was on a machine that was maybe one machine away from me. So I had to, get off my machine. I sort of made her aware of what the CDC is requiring in the gym. So I let her know. And right away it was, well, what if I don't get to be on my favorite machine? I said, well, get on another machine. So there's that, that fear of starting back up, getting back into the normal, right? It's step one, clear your mind. Looking back into history, how many viruses came out? Look at the Spanish flu, right?
Yeah. That was about 100 years ago, wasn't
it? But we go through these cycles, right? Chickenpox, measles, mumps, HIV, there's cycles. This seems to have really hit hard because it just happened and our lives changed. So get over that fear factor. Try your best to clear your mind and remain positive. And I say that in all my YouTube channel, like every video, stay positive. Because once you get out of that, oh my gosh, fear factor, guess what? You relax your mind. Secondly, get hold of your emotions. They're connected. Mental, emotional, it's connected. When you release the fear and the stress from your mind, the constant, looping of, first of all, for me, it was constantly hearing COVID-19. It's like, okay, get it out of my head. Focus on something else. Not that I'm trying to be arrogant of what's going on. It's because I just need to step back and not hear it anymore. I need to focus on, put my energy somewhere else. Right. Mentally and emotionally. Because, I've got family to think about as well. I have my kids. Well, are they okay? I'm in the U.S., they're in Canada, right? Yeah. so you're, that repetitiveness in your mind starts to play tricks, which starts to play on the emotional aspect as well. So you got to clear that. 2 important steps. Third, find a source of a way to release it. A good thing for me, write it out. Keep a journal. Go for walks outside. Connect with Mother Earth. Feel that energy of calmness. I love going to church. I go and I just, beautiful environment here. I can just breathe and, connect with the higher powers there, right? Be amongst people that are feeling the same way as well. They're just there to just pray and release. Find a way to let it go. We've been very restricted with now how often you can go to the gym and how long you can spend in the gym. Maximum time is 60 minutes, 3 times a week. Okay, I'm someone that wants to go every day. So find other ways to be physically active, right? There's still the outside, go for a walk. Try different methods. Go for a, bike ride.
Right. Yeah.
Keep moving your body, because what happens is, what has happened, it's not what happens, it is happening, is that people are being forced now to, all right, some businesses have shut down for obvious reasons, and now people are being forced to, okay, be in front of the computer, in front of a phone, and they're spending more than 4 hours. I was in a webinar one time, it was almost all day long. I thought, I got to step away because this is too much. I got to move,
Yeah.
So find break time. You got to get up and just move. Do something, get that blood flowing, the oxygen, the especially for the brain, it needs the endorphins, it gets the oxygen flowing, and breathe. Step outside for whatever, half an hour, just go for a brisk walk. Eat healthy. You know how easy it is to sit in front of the computer or any screen and get comfort food out, right?
Yeah.
Chips, whatever, right? Whatever.
Yeah,
People will find comfort food because they are under emotional and mental stress, and they're trying to find comfort. So comfort food fits in well. Breads, chips, all, fast foods. You got to try to do your best to eat healthy as well.
Right. So
if that all makes sense,
Yeah. Yeah. It does make sense, and some of the things are seemingly more difficult than they really are, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
You said going out for a walk, and I know a lot of people that they're like, well, that's not really exercise. That's not really going to keep me healthy, just going for a walk. And you're saying it is, along with other things.
It'll make you healthy.
Yeah.
It's movement. If you're walking on a flat, on a street that's flat,
mm-hmm.
and I know on White Rock there's a lot of hills.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay, you're walking on this flat street, and all of a sudden there's a hill. Guess what? If you walk up that hill, the hill, your heart rate's going to go up. So that means oxygen level goes up. You're working the lungs, right? The
mm-hmm.
oxygen, the endorphins are kicking in the brain. Of course, it's a workout. It takes. The gyms were shut down for a month. So in a month, I started to worry. I thought, a month of no working out? No. I'm going to jog. I'm going to go out there. I'll shoot videos here and there. I got to do something. I'm not going to just sit around. That's not my character. Luckily, I have a spin bike in my house, and I've got a number of other pieces of equipment, but I got to go outside as well. I can't just keep working out inside, right? I needed that fresh air. And when you think of the circadian, your master, your inner biological clock, it needs to be outside. Our system needs it. It needs the fresh air. It needs the sun. It needs anything that's not like when you're indoors, it's cold. You turn on your heat, right? It affects your whole system. So you need to be outside in the fresh air. You need to go for a walk. I go for walks. There's days I don't want to do an intense workout. I go out for a walk. That's my workout.
Yeah, I know for myself. My wife bought me a Fitbit, and she has an Apple Watch, and we keep track of our steps on there. And right now it is, because we're in the middle of the afternoon where we are right now. I'm at 19,000 steps. And people are like,
good for you.
they're like,
and you can
amazed.
add equipment to your walks. I mean, you can carry lightweight, like 1 pound weights, and walk, do a speed walk. You can do an interval. You can walk for a minute, and then for another, say, 30 seconds, lift your knees up. That activates some core as well. And then use your weights. There's those walking. I think I've seen those a lot in White Rock. Those walking. They look like ski.
Yeah, the
called.
stick things, the walking sticks. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I also walk up and down there's stairs that lead to the down to the beach. I walk up.
There's no excuse. People that say things like that are just making excuses. I think. And as a trainer, you hear a lot of excuses.
But I will admit that I do make excuses for snow. I do make excuses for snow. So.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned snow, because when it was snowing, I said to my husband, I said, "Oh, I remember cross-country skiing along the parkway in Ottawa. On those days when it was, sunny, and put on your skis and you just go the whole parkway. I love that. I mean, it's a total body workout." I said, "But I can't do that here. I don't have skis."
No, don't have skis. Well, anyway, so basically, we want to make sure we clear our mind, so that we stay positive,
Absolutely.
Get a hold of our emotions, find good sources to release negativity, and so we stay positive again, and find other ways of remaining active. If we can't get to the gym, go for a walk, go for a jog, that sort of thing outside.
Yep.
Cycling. I like cycling. That's cool. And find a good food source, right?
Absolutely. In my videos, I do a lot of demonstrations on how to use, like, even down at the beach. I've done a video where you can pick up a couple of rocks that are of equal weight. You can do lunges. You can do squats. There's ways of incorporating, and you don't have to spend an hour doing it. During your walk, just pick up a couple of equal sized weights. Throw in a couple of lunges and squats.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. There really isn't an excuse.
No.
It goes back to your mindset.
Right.
Right? It's all about your mindset. Like, when I ran track, if I would have walked onto the track with this attitude, well, I don't know if I feel like running really fast today. Well, guess what? I'm not going to run fast. So imagine the world's population right now is in that train of thought. They're worrying about, okay, I got to make a mortgage payment. I got to feed the kids. How am I going to pay this bill? I'm going to lose my job. That's a lot of stress to have in such a short period of time.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. And the fear is so high. There's so much worry, not just about ourselves, but we have kids, grandchildren. Are they okay? Right? Is today's youth okay? Are they okay?
It's a good question. Anyway.
Is anyone asking them, are you okay?
Yeah.
Just think, I met up with a childhood, actually we were best friends growing up in Ottawa, and it's interesting, on New Year's Eve, we called each other, wished each other Happy New Year's, and we talked about this. We talked about what's going on in the world, and we both agreed we had great childhood. we were able to run outside and play and not worry. Well, except that one incident I told you about. About the psychic thing. The world's going to end.
Yeah.
But we didn't worry about having to wear a mask.
No. No, we didn't.
And so we were saying to each other how lucky we were. And I said to her, can you imagine how these young kids feel right now? Is anyone asking them? I don't know. My kids are grown up. They're fine young men right now, so they've got jobs. But I don't know if the schools have that option for the kids to talk about how they feel.
Yeah, it's a good thing that a good idea. I think that the school systems do need to make sure that they're offering some sort of counseling to both students and the teachers. To make sure everybody is.
Yes, exactly. The whole system, right? Because I'm sure the teachers feel, they miss the kids, right?
Yeah.
And it's a different way of teaching them for the time being. They're in front of a screen with them. It's a whole different. It's the same thing with me as a trainer. I was asked so many times, "Well, are you going to do online training?" Mm-hmm. No, I'm not. I'm not going to follow the Joneses, whatever that technology is. I said, no. First of all, I have an obligation to my clients to protect their privacy and as well as ensure their safety. And when I say safety, it's not just online safety. It's when I'm training them. I have to make sure that whatever I demonstrate to them, that they are doing it correctly as well. Mm-hmm. And in front of a screen, and they're not in the same room with me, if they fall or for whatever reason, immediately I don't feel comfortable that I cannot correct them.
Right.
Like touch them and say, okay, this is the way, no, this is the way I showed you, right? I'm very technical when I'm training someone. And then just having that conversation with them face to face in the same space. Yeah. I thought, I'm just going to wait. I have to wait. There's other means of that I can, run my business, and that's offering fitness columns here and there, and doing the videos. That's how I kept myself busy.
Yeah. So what's the best way to find your videos and maybe get more advice from you and things like that?
My YouTube channel is Velocity Athletic Training. So if you go to YouTube, just key that in. I am offering personal training services now. My gut says go ahead, so I am going ahead at Blaine Everyday Fitness. It's located on 1755 H Street here in Blaine. We are following the CDC requirements, so we're very, Bear is very strict about that, and so am I in terms of social distancing, wearing the mask. So there is a complimentary consultation that I do offer. It's 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's valid until March 30th. After that, it's $150 for 30 minutes. That includes an assessment. All the Part Q form must be completed, as well as all forms that are required to begin training with me.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, because time is running out, and thank you for joining us today and for your tips.
Thank you.
To help us stay healthy, and we hope that did you keep on rocking it down there in Blaine?
Absolutely. Blaine's a wonderful town, and you know, so many people are you going to come back to Canada? I'm like, no, I'm here in Blaine. I mean, of course I'm going to go visit, you know, friends, right, and my son, and but until the border open, I can't do that. And but I believe, you know what, I'm here, I'm happy, Blaine's beautiful, the people are beautiful, and I'm here to make everybody healthy in Blaine.
All right. So, again, thank you for joining us today. And
thank you for having me. You stay safe, remain healthy, and most importantly, Michael, remain positive.
Thank you so much. And
you're welcome.
You have a great day, okay?
You too. Thank you. Bye.
This show has been produced by Depictions Media. Please contact us at depictions.media for more information.